Every town has a place no one dares to go. For us, it was the old mansion on the outskirts, standing right at the edge of the forest. People had long since started calling it the House of the Faceless Bride. Legend had it that many years ago, a young woman named Evelyn Morris lived in that house. She was beautiful and deeply in love, eagerly preparing for her wedding day. The whole town knew how much she adored her fiancé. But on the day of the wedding, he never showed up. They said he had run away with another woman, leaving Evelyn alone in her white dress, humiliated in front of everyone. The next day, they found her dead in the house. But here's what was strange. She had no face. It wasn't mutilated or disfigured. It was just gone. Smooth skin where her eyes, nose, and mouth should have been. As if someone, or something, had erased her identity. Since then, the House of the Faceless Bride had been cursed. People who entered never came back. They said she was waiting for those who dared to disturb her grief so she could steal their faces. And when my friend Lisa suggested we check out the house, I should have said no. But I didn't. We went there in the early evening while there was still light. The fence was crooked, the gate rusty. As soon as we stepped inside, the gate slammed shut behind us with a piercing screech. "This place is awful," I muttered, trying not to show how much the sound had rattled me. "Don't be silly," Lisa waved me off. "It's just an old house." She didn't believe in the legends, and neither did I, until that day. Inside, it was quiet. The air smelled of mildew and something sickly sweet, like decay. Old photographs lined the walls, but their faces had been scratched out. Someone had carefully gouged out the eyes and mouths, as if trying to erase their existence. "This isn't normal," I whispered. Lisa just shrugged. We walked into the kitchen. Dusty plates sat in the sink as if someone had once eaten there and never returned. But the real horror was in the basement. The door was slightly ajar. I didn't want to go down there, but Lisa was already on the stairs. When we stepped onto the final stair, we were hit with an unbearable stench. Rotten. Heavy. Like death. In the farthest corner of the basement, something lay beneath a filthy tarp. Lisa stepped forward while I stood frozen in fear. She grabbed the edge of the tarp. "Lisa, don't..." But she had already pulled. We saw hair. Long, tangled. Then, a face. Rotting, but still recognizable. It was Lauren Green, the girl who had vanished 10 years ago. And beneath her, there were more bodies. All the missing people. "Run!" I screamed, but Lisa wouldn't move. And then they started to shift. Lauren's head turned. From her black, gaping mouth, a whisper escaped. "She's coming." I heard footsteps. Lisa snapped out of it first and bolted up the stairs. I followed, feeling the air behind me thicken, grow sticky, become alive. As we reached the living room, I glanced back. She stood at the basement doorway, a woman in a tattered wedding dress, faceless. But I knew she was watching. She knew we had seen. We crashed through a broken window and ran until we were back among people in the safety of the light, among the living. But that night at 3:12 a.m., I woke up. The smell woke me up. Sickly sweet, rotting, basement-like. I wanted to turn my head, but I couldn't. My body wouldn't move. Paralysis? I wasn't breathing. I didn't dare to breathe. The air in the room felt heavy, suffocating. And then I knew I wasn't alone. Somewhere in the darkness, something shifted. At first, it was faint, light. Then a scraping sound, like someone dragging their nails slowly across the wall. I could feel movement. I couldn't see it, but I knew. Someone was standing beside my bed. A chill crawled up my spine. I knew who it was. I knew even before I heard the breathing. Software slow, right by my face. Summoning every ounce of strength, I lunged forward and switched on the light. The room was empty, but the smell remained. And on the floor, near my bed, lay something white. I leaned down. It was an old bridal wreath, dirty, stained with something dark. My hands trembled as I picked it up. And then I saw the writing on the wall, right above my bed, scratched into the paint with fingernails. "You're next."